Luno, the fastest, easiest way to buy Bitcoin. If you're just getting into crypto, it's the perfect place to start. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Layah Heilpern show. Let me know if you can hear me okay, because I have changed my mic, so it should be a little different to usual. So when you guys comment, I've got all the comments on so I can see everything coming through. Okay, so this show is a little different. A little bit nervous because it's a bit different. Was also quite last minute because I'd just been working on my book all day. Had no makeup on my face whatsoever. So I thought, okay, I'll just throw something on and just do this show. Okay, so before we jump in, of course, it is powered by Icon Plus Capital. It is sponsored by BlockFi. So you can actually get up to $250 when you sign up. I hope I wrote that correctly. And actually, a new sponsor that I have this week is Compass. So some quick information about Compass. So basically, Compass, they are a company that make Bitcoin mining accessible for everyone. So you can actually get a machine, pick a hosting facility, and let them do the work. So if you do want some kind of Bitcoin mining facility, then definitely head to compassmining.io. So they are the newest sponsors of my show. So that is really exciting. Okay, so I said I'd do an AMA. So that's what I'm going to do. We're also going to talk about my book, which I've been rewriting today, actually, because I had a change of heart about a few things. So this is totally live, as you guys know. This is completely unprepared. It was really last minute. So I'm going to head over to Twitter now and have a look at some of the questions that you guys sent me. Because, yeah, this is totally live, unprepared. Haven't thought about, haven't even looked at the questions yet. It's just been such a hectic day. So let's have a look. Okay, so Crypto Chris. So major shout out to Crypto Chris because he is great. He always interacts with everything. Love his takes. So he asked what my favorite books are, fiction and non-fiction. Okay, so somebody actually asked me this the other day. Someone wrote blink if this is live. This is totally live and unprepared. I haven't even seen the questions yet. So I'm just doing it as they come to me. Okay, so favorite book. Somebody asked this the other day. So I'm actually really into I don't know if I'd call it spirituality, but I'm definitely into like the mind-body connection and how your everything that you feel physically is a result of what's going on in your mind. So one of my favorite books is actually The Biology of Belief and Mind Over Medicine. So that comes from a very personal story. I had a bunch of health issues when I was younger, and I read those books and I'm amazing. I'm all happy and healthy today. In terms of other books, I'm actually not a huge reader. When I read, it's to learn something. So like I said, Biology of Belief was to help with my physical life. And then I absolutely love all the Bitcoin books. I'm a big fan of Bitcoin and Black America by Isaiah Jackson. That was so fascinating. Love Jason Williams' book. If you guys haven't seen that, check it out. Hard money you can't F with. I'm not going to swear because this is YouTube. So yeah, those are some of my favorite books. Somebody said, did your brother sell his Bitcoin for Ethereum? Actually, my brother owes me a lot of money and he's going to have to sell his Bitcoin to pay me back this money, which I will tell you all about another time. I asked him to tell me more information about this and if I can post about it, but he won't let me do it yet. But I'm definitely going to have him on the podcast, so stay tuned for that because my brother is quite a shit coiner. He can't help it. He was once up like a few weeks ago, like at the top of the bull market back in April. He was up 70 grand on some coin. He didn't sell it. He's now totally minus. So there you go. He's a bit of a shit coiner. He'd message me because he was in the States and I was in the UK. He'd message me at like 1 a.m. my time. Layah, you need to get in on this thing. It's called like Moon this, and it's kind of rubbish. So I obviously didn't buy it. So that's the story about my brother. Okay, so I'm going through some of the questions. Someone says, in all serious though, comparing with the past bear markets, how long will this one last, do I think? Okay. We can definitely talk about this market. Okay, so look, as you guys know, it's obviously impossible to tell what kind of market we're in. If you want to talk about, price depreciation, everybody was expecting some kind of correction. Off the top of my head, again, this is all totally unprepared. I would say this is the most bullish bear market I have seen. I think what we've seen right now is absolutely unbelievable, with what we've seen going on with El Salvador, the rest of Central and South America. I think China is a really, really interesting topic. To be honest, the China topic, I think, is good news. I'm happy to talk about that as well, because a lot of people have been, saying this is terrible what we're seeing with China, and I think it's great. For two main reasons. One of the main reasons I feel this is great is because one of the biggest issues that Bitcoin often comes under when it's scrutinized and all this is centralization. People say that it's centralized in China, and this FUD is regurgitated again and again. And in some ways, this is amazing for the decentralization of the network. We've already seen many different mining companies talking about moving to Kazakhstan, moving to Canada, moving to the US, Miami. This is great for the decentralization of the network. I'm just reading some of your comments now. This is really hard, by the way, to do a live and read the comments and read everything that's going on. I've never done this before, so this is kind of strange. So there you go. Those are my thoughts. Is my thoughts on China. Oh, and also another point as to why this is a good thing. So clearly, China has an effect on the market. This is very much an immature market. Bitcoin is only 12 years old. We've seen it's very much correlated to geopolitical events to some extent. Of course, it recovered after the crash in 2020, but it's not immune just yet. And so I feel China has less control over the price or less influence over the price in that short term, especially if there's less mining going on there. So just reading the comments, people are saying nice things. Thanks. It's stressful. This is stressful. So yeah, there you go. Those are my brief thoughts on China. I don't think it's an issue. I was talking about this actually with Jason Williams the other day. We were sort of saying that things will take time to recover. You don't just plug in a mining machine and it's all just okay. Although these major operations are leaving China and they're moving to other places, building that kind of infrastructure takes time. But I have zero worries. The difficulty adjustment adjusts. I love saying that. I think it sounds really fun. And I think it's great as well. The mining rewards have gone up. I don't know if you guys have seen that actually. The mining rewards have gone up. I think at one point, I don't know what it was, but the mining rewards, not that it's gone up, but more miners are have more access to the rewards, right? Because there's less competition on the market, which is pretty cool. So what's happened with China has incentivized more people to get involved. I think that's great. Help decentralize the network more. All right, I'm going to keep going and have a look at some other questions. And then I'm going to go into my book because I said I'd answer that. All right, let's have a look what we have. What do you spend the majority of your money on each month? Oh my God, that is such a good question. I would say, unfortunately, alcohol and coffee. Is that absolutely awful? And food. I think I like going out for breakfast. So like avocado, eggs, coffee, and then wine in the afternoon, olives. I'm pretty European like that. That's pretty much what I spend my money on. But I actually said once I've completed my book and once it's done, I'm going to reward myself by buying face creams. I mean, I feel like you've just reached an age where, you want to get yourself some luxurious face creams. That's what I want to do. So that's what I'm going to do. It's pretty expensive actually, but that's how I'm going to spend my money next month. All right, let's have a look what else we have. Are you still thinking of moving out the country? Okay, so moving countries is difficult, especially after Brexit. So with Brexit, for those who aren't European, someone says, I think this isn't live. This is live, okay? I haven't even seen any of your questions. I'm totally just winging this because I've been working all day, haven't had a chance to do anything. So I'm winging. I can't get my words out. Winging this. Okay. So after Brexit, for those that don't know, when you lived in an EU country, you have what is called freedom of movement. So before Brexit, as a UK citizen, I had the right to pick up my stuff and live in any EU country, as they did have the right to come to the UK from whatever country you came from. After Brexit, that is now not possible. We can only do 3 months in a particular country. If I want to live there, you have to go through the whole immigration process, which is a nightmare. So in terms of where I want to live, I'm totally undecided. And I don't want to go through a whole immigration process to go somewhere and then to decide, actually, I don't want to live there. So I really kind of want to embrace the Bitcoin digital nomad kind of lifestyle, whereby I do 3 months here, I do 3 months there. And it's so much more exciting like that, especially because right now the world is changing so much. I'm in love with what El Salvador have done. I'm totally open to spending some time in El Salvador. I'm so open to it, I can't even tell you. And so why would I want to go through an entire immigration process for a particular country when what if the country suddenly becomes really anti-crypto? You know, what if the country goes into a lockdown? The world is so unpredictable that I don't want to be tied to a certain country. You know, I have the right to live in the UK as a citizen that's been born and raised here. So, you know, I'm fortunate enough to have that. But I'm definitely gonna do some traveling. So the goal is actually, and then we can get onto my book, but I do want to answer more questions. So the goal is essentially to come to Miami. That's what I want to do. So I want to get to Miami around the middle of August. So there's actually a conference in November around the 10th, 11th of November, which I will be hosting. And it's in Miami. So I'm only allowed to spend 3 months in America. So that means that I've got to get to Miami just after the middle of August. So because, I don't know if you know, but UK citizens aren't actually allowed to fly directly to America right now because of COVID. So what that means is I have to then fly to Mexico, spend 2 weeks in Mexico, and then go to the States. So when I'm there, I want to do a book launch. I want to do a major meetup. So if you're interested, then let me know in the comments where I should do this meetup. I'm thinking of doing it in Miami and just hanging out there. And that's what I want to do. And then I might go to Texas and do a meetup there, do maybe like some kind of book launch, book signing. So that's my thought process for traveling. Okay, so someone's asked a really interesting question. I'm going to put it on the screen so you guys can read it. And then I'm going to take a drink of water, because this is totally live. And this is so unpredictable. All right. What do you think will happen with banks and crypto? It's a really great question, one which I've actually addressed in my book, Undressing Bitcoin. Okay, so here's my take. So today we just heard, so today is, for those rewatching, it is the 8th of July. How time flies. So we've actually just heard that Santander are now the second bank in the UK to block payments from Binance. So obviously Barclays was first, and Santander was second. So I think this is sad, and I think it's a shame, and I think it's really, really upsetting. My take is that people only ban what they fear. And China is a fantastic example of that. You know, China banned Bitcoin because they fear it. China banned Twitter because they fear it. China banned many different things because they fear it. So we understand that banning is done because they fear it. And I tweeted about this yesterday. It's so much more than Bitcoin. It's so much more than an alternative way. For me, it's about freedom. And there is this looming war on freedom. And I think we've seen that with COVID anyway. You know, with all the lockdowns and how different countries have approached it differently. Just as an example, you know, some countries you have to wear a mask outside. Other countries, you know, of course you don't have to wear a mask outside. It makes no sense for the science, you know. We've seen Florida and Texas have stayed open and nobody is dropping dead, dying. You know, nobody's dropping dead over there. So what we'll see is certain institutions, states, provinces, organizations will have to pick a side as we continue to move forward. Everything right now is strange. You know, whether it's in politics, with the Olympics, you know, we see trans women in female sports. We're not allowed to criticize that, hence war on speech, freedom of speech, war on money with banks, and so on and so on. So basically what I'm getting at is that we are going through a really interesting time. We've been told that we will eventually get to a point whereby this is what they've said to us. They've said to us, you will own nothing and you will be happy. What do you mean we will own nothing? What do you mean? How does that make sense? Surely I should own what I choose to own. That's a war on individual freedom already. We've been going down this path for a really long time. I mean, we know this anyway, just from the messages that I received after that tweet. So what's going to happen? Banks, institutions, countries, provinces, states will have to pick a side. CBDCs will come. They will try and replace Bitcoin. You can't actually ban a network like that, which we've obviously spoken about many different times, but they will try. And propaganda and marketing will be a huge, huge part of this. I mean, COVID has its own damn marketing campaign. Vaccines have a marketing campaign. CBDCs will have a marketing campaign. And it's our job, our responsibility to make sure that those who are not inside or not involved in the cryptocurrency industry understand that they are different. And CBDCs are highly centralized. They are not this new shiny form of money which is going to make life better, which is how I believe it will be sold as. There will be a war between, but a subtle war, right? Like when I talk about this war that I envisage, it's not an obvious war. It's not like men on the streets, men in the trenches, men on the fields. It's not that anymore. It's a subtle war between the people and those in control, those in power. And it's our responsibility to continue to fight that. There will be an increased crackdown on it. And like I said, states, organizations, provinces, countries will have to pick a side. And it's really, really interesting. I think Russia, actually, I read yesterday, so I don't fully know the situation there, but Russia, their politicians are talking about implementing new legislation which would allow governments to seize people's cryptocurrencies, but it's not clear yet whether that will be cryptocurrencies which are specifically involved in illegal activity, or cryptocurrencies in general, or cryptocurrencies that they suspect have been involved in illegal activity. What do you mean suspect? It's concerning. There will be a war between the two sides. I'm convinced of it. And the war is starting. Like I said, it's going to be subtle. Anyway, I'm going to keep reading. Someone says, speak your truth. I will always speak my truth. Okay, let's have a look at the questions that I have. Like I said, guys, this is totally live. Also, I didn't mention, maybe I did, but I don't remember. Oh, I did mention it, but I'll say it again. This is powered by the VC firm Icon Plus Capital. So I just want to make everybody aware of that. Okay, let's have a look. Oh gosh, I was about to read something out, which was rude. Okay, let's keep going. Why aren't you married yet? I'm not married yet because I am in my mid-20s and I will be married one day at some point. Okay. Did you ever use BTC to buy things? Not exactly. So I work with crypto.com. So they sponsor some of my tweets. But crypto.com are fantastic. Like I only partnered with them about a month ago. So June, I believe, was my first month partnering with them, but I've been using them for over a year, I think since March last year. So huge fan of the company. So in terms of, do I spend my Bitcoin? Okay, so sometimes when somebody sends me Bitcoin, like I settle balances with friends and family in Bitcoin. So they'll send me Bitcoin and then I will top up my crypto.com card and then spend. So in that way, I spend Bitcoin. Other than that, not really, honestly. What I get paid mostly in Bitcoin. So I work a lot with altcoin Buzz and Exodus Wallet. So they pay all their employees in Bitcoin, which is really cool. So I get paid in Bitcoin. So what I tend to do is sell it to an extent so that I can pay my bills and my taxes. So that's the extent of my paying in Bitcoin. Other than that, not really. I live in England. There's nowhere to directly buy things. You know, you could say people use, like PayPal or something like that to pay for things in Bitcoin, but it's really just an intermediary which switches to fiat. So it's the same as crypto.com in that it switches to fiat and then you spend it. So not really, no. Okay, reading more stuff. Let's have a look. Okay. Oh my God, so many questions coming through. This is great. Thank you so much for watching. Somebody asked, how can we get more women into crypto? Everyone watching, Do you know my opinion on this before I potentially discuss it? So somebody asks, how do we get more women into crypto? Do you guys know my opinion on this? I have a pretty harsh opinion on the situation. So obviously the comments are on, let me know. Okay, what is my opinion on this? Really, it's just a question. Why do we need more women in crypto? Why do we need more women in crypto? I don't know why. I don't think we need more anyone in anything. I think we need more competent, qualified people that add value to the space. That is what we need. I don't want more people. I don't want more women in anything just because they're women. Not all women don't offer an alternative perspective just because they're women. Like, absolutely not. I actually have a very masculine outlook on life, a typically masculine outlook on life. Does that mean suddenly my opinion is invalid because it's not a female opinion? No. I don't offer a female perspective. I really do not offer a traditional female perspective. So adding, and I'm also, women are supposed to be creative and add a nice feminine touch. I'm not like that. I'm actually not very creative at all. I'm very facts and figures, and I like to follow strategies, and I don't like to create. I'm really not good at creating. So the traditional or ideal value that a woman offers to this space, I don't believe that I bring at all. I think I bring what the men bring, the same kind of thing, except I look a little bit different. Maybe if you guys enjoy looking at long hair, then there you go. But from this kind of standpoint, I don't offer any different value because I'm a woman whatsoever. Like I said, everything that I offer really is I'm very masculine in that sense. Like I like structure, and I like looking at like the facts and the figures, and I like following plans and details. I don't like to create and add that typical feminine perspective. So really we need more competent people that add value, whether they're women or not. That's great. For me, I don't really care, honestly. Same goes with religion, same goes with race. I'm just not interested at all. And also, just because a woman is in the space doesn't mean that will represent other women. This is 50% of the population we're talking about. Gender does not put us gender does not align us. It doesn't make us the same. There's a lot of women in the space who I have zero things in common with, have more things in common with men. So yeah, gender is ridiculous. All right, let's see what else we have here. Okay, very nice. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my Twitter. What is your ultimate financial goal? Not mentioning one specific asset. Okay. How long have I been live? 22 minutes. Okay. All right. I'm going to just take a little breather. And then I'm going to talk about Undressing Bitcoin. Okay. So like I said, this is totally live. Was a little bit stressed out, been working all day, and couldn't think about what I was going to do for the show. Didn't read any of the questions beforehand. I just figured what will be. Okay. So someone asks, let me read it again. What are your ultimate financial goals? Not to mention, okay, my financial goals. Okay, it's a good question. Look, it's not a financial goal. It's more just like a life goal. The life goal is freedom. Freedom has always been my goal. I have zero problem with personal responsibility. In fact, I love personal responsibility. My goal is to live a happy, beautiful, and free life, whereby the weekends are full of adventure. The days are full of adventure. I love nature, whether that's going out and, going to lakes, watching the sunsets, going to the beach. I love nature, and I want my days to be full of nature. And a lot of the time, in order to kind of live that kind of lifestyle, you have to have money to do what you want to do. So the goal is financial freedom. I don't want my money to be in custody of somebody else. If you guys have been following me, you'll know that Revolut blocked my bank. Sorry, Revolut blocked my funds. Revolut are my bank. They're more of a fintech company, but they blocked my funds. Just gonna move a bit and get a little bit comfier. So yeah, Revolut blocked my funds. And that is awful, right? That is so bad. I had a lot of money in these accounts and they blocked it. And so somebody says I seem to have a problem with authority. That's funny. I don't. I'm just very much pro-freedom, which I think is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Why do I need authority? I am my own authority. I'm very, I trust myself to navigate my own life. I don't need somebody who knows nothing about me to navigate my life. Only I can navigate my life to the best of its ability. So Revolut blocked my funds. Long story short, I don't bank with them anymore, but because I had money in cryptocurrency held in a non-custodial way, I was able to survive. Like I said, I get paid in Bitcoin. So the majority of my wealth is in crypto, is in Bitcoin. So because I had money in Bitcoin, I was okay. But those who don't hold their money in that manner, those who are not financially sovereign, who could be in my situation where banks freeze, your business account, your personal account, it's pretty sad. So my goal is absolutely financial freedom. Someone says, but don't you enjoy the adventure of financial freedom? And if you achieved, what else you're going to do besides? No, okay, here's my thing. You know how we all used to be cavemen and women, right? And the men would go out and we all lived in nature. The men would go out, they would kill the animals, bring back the food and everything, right? We all used to live in those times before, not even cavemen times. Don't talk about the Stone Age and all that. I'm talking about back in the day, okay? Everything was very much in nature. We didn't have the kind of houses that we have today. We didn't have the technology that we have today. But I think we're going to go back to that because of technology, because of things like COVID, which has shown us we all don't need to commute and go into the office and things like that. With this increased technology that we have, we're going to go back to that. And that's kind of what I want to do. That digital nomad lifestyle where they live in beautiful places and all this stuff. They're going back to that, except they have Wi-Fi now. And I kind of want that. I want to be out in the wild. I want to do my work with amazing Wi-Fi and all this stuff. And then once my day is done, I want to go and have an adventure in nature. That is my goal, back how it used to be back in the day before all technology and stuff. And that is freedom. And I think that's what things like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and this new technology that we have, I think that's what it will do. People living in it, listen, I was out in London the other night, okay? It was empty. It was a Friday night and it was empty. Why was it empty? We're not in lockdown anymore. Why was it empty? Because what's the point? People aren't living in the center of the city anymore because of COVID, because they've all gone back home. They don't need to live right around the corner from the office. There's going to be a huge exodus from the city back into nature. And that's what I'm excited for. Okay, I'm going to talk about my book now. So if you have any questions about my book, please just write them. Oh, I'm still here. Let me just change my camera. Hang on, I'm still here. There we go. Take a sip of water. Okay. Oh, this is really strange. I have never done this before. Feels weird. Okay. I'm totally live. All right. So my book. Okay. So it's called Undressing Bitcoin. And here's the thing. I love this industry. I've just spoken for about 28 minutes and 11 seconds about freedom, personal responsibility, being self-sovereign, and all the things that I love and support and appreciate. Now, because I love it so much, I want to spread adoption. I want people to know about this revolutionary technology. What upsets me is that I feel that right now there's really this huge barrier to entry. Forget physical barriers to entry, like on and off ramps and Barclays and Santander and all this stuff that I discussed at the beginning. But a philosophical and technological barrier to entry. It's hard to understand what this space is really about. If you just say freedom to somebody, they'll think you're a conspiracy theorist. If you say it to your friends down the road, I believe in freedom, so I'm leaving the traditional financial system. It's hard for people to understand. They'll literally think you are a conspiracy theorist. It's also very hard to verbalize the problems with the traditional financial system, to put forward the case for inflation. It's hard. Do you have the numbers off the top of your head? I'm writing this damn book and I don't even have the numbers off the top of my head. Actually, I do because I wrote something a minute ago, but it's really, really hard. And The technology is hard. Understanding the importance of decentralization, that is really, really hard. Understanding things like mining, it's a whole new language. Hash rate, difficulty adjustment. I mean, what the hell are these things? It's so hard, but like these things are what makes Bitcoin so genius, and the elegance of the technology, which makes it the most incredible piece of technology we've ever seen. So these things are hard. So my idea is to basically put together a book which explains it. And I want the book to be full of fun. Like, I want it to be spicy. I want it to have personality. I want it to have flavor. And I want it to be full of so much fun. And I want you to be able to take this book and say, yeah, read Undressing Bitcoin. It's actually bloody great. And you can fully understand the problems of the traditional financial system. And you probably have a laugh while you read it as well, Like, there's such gatekeeping, and there's such difficulties to get involved. It's hard to understand what this technology is really about. And so somebody just wrote a knowledge barrier. I mean, that's exactly it. It's so hard for people to understand. So and it's boring to some people. Okay. So here it is, because my excitement for this space comes from freedom and my love for freedom and understanding this looming authoritarianism that's coming. So I ideally, if people don't feel that way, they'll find it really, really boring. So I want to add as much flavor and excitement to it. That's basically the goal. And it's going to be very different. It's going to be very unfiltered, and it's going to be quite potentially controversial, because it's going to say what we're all thinking. So I actually rewrote the first chapter today. And in that first chapter, I'm basically roasting everyone. So I posted this on my Twitter, and people thought, oh, are you roasting us on Twitter? Absolutely not. You guys are great. I'm not roasting you lot. I'm roasting the Federal Reserve. I'm roasting Jerome Powell, if that's how you pronounce his name. I'm roasting the education system. I'm roasting the Bank of England. Everything. All the systems are getting roasted in that first chapter, okay? A lot of people would, or how I initially wrote it was very much tippy-toeing. Yeah, on my, walking on thin ice as you go through this. But screw that, honestly, it's going to be so unfiltered. It's going to be completely unfiltered. And I'm just going to say what the hell I fancy saying. There's going to be a lot of sarcasm in the book. It's going to be very witty. There's one line when I talk about money laundering and I make a joke. Yeah, there's just so many jokes. Somebody has said, let's have a look. How many contributors in your book? No contributors. It's just me. It's just me. And it's been really, really difficult. I actually wrote the book during the lockdown. I wrote it during the lockdown. So it's actually like pretty depressing time to write a book. So looking back on it now, I'm definitely adding more flavor and more energy to it. So the book cover is also really exciting. Like I said, my goal is to not necessarily follow all the rules. I just want to do what I want to do. I don't necessarily, because I'm just going to be me, and I don't necessarily want to try and fit in, should I try and fit in and be potentially, I don't know, like, I don't want to be dull with things, I want to be exciting with things, and I don't want to play by the rules. I don't want to do what everybody else has done. I really just want to be uncensored and true to my personality and true to me. And that's how the book will be. The book will be totally unfiltered, true to me. It's going to be completely different to all the other books. I want it to be fun and exciting. Okay, so when's it coming out? So initially, the book was supposed to come out at the end of July, which it might still do. But like I said, I'm actually going over it to add more flavor. And I feel like one of the things is, because you care so much about this, and I've actually never written a book before, but because I care so much about this, and I really just want to make sure that, and it's an academic subject, I want to make sure that all the information is there. So going back, I noticed that I put too many examples in. Okay. And I need to take those out. There are so many examples of inflation. I don't need it. There are so many examples of how Bitcoin can't be banned, and more news keeps coming out. So I was going to write something about China, and I was like, you know what? I already made the damn point. Move the hell on. So that's the hard part of the book, because you want it to be so perfect. And someone says put too many examples to illustrate a point. So I go over it and over it. So I was like, no, I need to delete that. So it's really, at this point, it's really just a matter of cutting all the fat and getting to the point, cutting straight to the chase. So yeah, I'm spending quite a lot of time right now just going through all of that, cutting it all back, and making sure that I have illustrated the point in the most exciting, fun, sarcastic, sassy manner as possible, because I feel like we need it. I feel like this space just needs it. Okay, so can you buy it in Bitcoin? God, gotta take a drink. Silence is quite interesting. Just letting the silence, just settle. It's very interesting. Okay, where can you buy it? So initially, I was thinking to entirely self-publish. So I was going to create like a Shopify website where you could buy it in Bitcoin. But I decided against that. And that was quite a last minute decision. I definitely denied about it for a while. And the reason that I changed my mind is because I want everybody to have access to this book. And I don't know what tomorrow holds. I don't know, what if one day I get banned on Twitter? I'm careful. I try not to. What if this platform bans me? You just don't know. So I wanted to make sure that everybody had access to it. So it's going to be on Amazon, and there's going to be a Kindle version. There's going to be a paperback version and an audio version. The audio version, obviously, I haven't done yet because I haven't finished tweaking the book. I say tweaking, I'm basically rewriting it at this point because I just have some other ideas. I want to switch it up. So yeah, it's going to be on Amazon. So unless you can buy stuff on Amazon with Bitcoin, I don't think you'll be able to buy my book with Bitcoin. Unless maybe you do it through PayPal, like I was talking about earlier, that's kind of the only way that I can think about it. Okay, so the cover. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you what the cover's like just yet. You guys, I might actually put a vote out because there are two that I really like. But the one that I have in mind, have you guys seen the film Molly's Game? Let me know if you've seen it. It's basically very casino vibes. This woman starts this big gambling thing, and anyway, it's got those vibes. It's got very Vegas vibes. And yeah, it's definitely going to be a head turner. It's definitely going to be a head turner. But hey, who cares? I want it to be a head turner. I just want to have as much fun with it as possible. Disrupt, make things happen, make it exciting. I don't want to just look, people, super successful people always rock the boat. They never just fit in, because if you fit in, you're just going to get lost in a crowd of hundreds of thousands of people. I don't want my book to be lost in a crowd of hundreds of thousands of people. I spent a lot of time on this. And it means a lot to me. I'm dedicating this live stream to it. So, I don't want to, I don't want to fit in with it. Yes, I will be voicing the audiobook. Somebody said poker in the hotel. Yes, that is Molly's Game, poker in the hotel room. So you know how it's really sassy and it's stylish. That's the front cover. It's very stylish. So I'm very excited. Okay, so we have been doing this for 40 minutes now. And I've been working all day, so I'm super tired. So I'm going to log off in a second. But log off, do we say that anymore? But if you do have any more questions, then just drop it in the comment section below. And I will answer them all now. I'm reading your comments. Is it helpful for amateurs? Of course. Look, the book is supposed to be something which you will enjoy as somebody who's already in crypto, but also your parents will enjoy and find funny. Honestly, the book, I rewrote the first chapter today, and it's actually hilarious. It's actually funny. There are things that I've written in there. where I'm just like, I can't believe I just wrote that. But hey, it's really, really funny. And I said that everybody gets roasted in the first chapter. Americans get roasted in the first chapter. Sorry. Okay. All right. If you have any more questions, let me know, because I'm running out of water. And I won't be able to continue once this is done. It's done. All right, guys. I'm waiting for a few more questions and then I'm going to head out. Let's have a look what we have here. You didn't say how much Bitcoin you have. I get paid in Bitcoin. Come on. Oh, well, thank you to Ryan Kramer very much. Do I trade Forex? No, I don't. I don't trade. That's something I haven't mentioned, have I? I don't trade. I mean, look, like, okay, I trade, but I don't trade how you would imagine, like leverage trading, margin trading, all that stuff. I don't get involved in that at all. The reason I don't get involved in that is because it requires a lot of skill, experience, and also time to watch the market in that way. Oh, hang on. There we go. Oh, thank you, Ryan Kramer. And there's another one. You rock, Ryan. Everyone follow Layah on Twitter. She's fun and edgy. That's nice. Thank you to the Ron. There you go. Very cool. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so it requires a lot of trading, requires a lot of time, energy, skill. And so I would say to those who aren't professional traders or who haven't spent a lot of time trading to be very, very careful when it comes to it. The trading that I do is buying a bunch of alts in a bear market. Then when the alts go right up in a bull market, I sell and take my profits and live a good life, you know? Bitcoin, I certainly don't trade. Absolutely not. I don't have the time and the energy to time a market. I'm not in the business to time a market. That's exhausting for me. I have too much to do. You know, like I got these shows to do. I got a book to write. So yeah, I certainly don't have the energy to do that. I totally commend the people that do, because I don't have it in me. Maybe one day. Okay, I will take one last question. And I'm out of water. Somebody says, will there be any signed copies of my book, Undressing Bitcoin? Okay, so just on that point, like I said, I'm going to be in the States, and you guys are more than welcome to come to a meetup that I'm going to host. Just obviously, if you're watching me on Twitter, then I'll announce the dates and the location of the meetup coming very, very soon. So yeah, follow that on Twitter. I'll be mentioning those dates, and then bring the book and I will sign it. But because it's going through Amazon, I won't be able to physically have a book to send it to you and to sign. So yeah, I won't be able to do that unless we all meet in person, which we are more than welcome to do in the coming few weeks when I head to America. All right, my friends. Firstly, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been really, really cool. This is very, very different. I never usually do this. I think I might do more of them. Usually I always have a guest and we sit down and we talk about things. But this time it's just me. It's just Layah talking about my book. So it's been really, really nice. Thank you so much for all your engagement. It's been really, really fun. I loved looking through all the comments. Someone has just said they just tuned in. You'll have to come back next week because this is the end of it now. But thank you all so much for tuning in. And I will catch you all on Twitter because I have an addiction and I'm on there too much. All right. Bye-bye.